Oh my goodness, the first part A recording above of this number. Have I achieved what I set out to do? What was my quest when I was in the reference library in Southend as a youth? Partway through my A-levels, what you call sixth form if I'd been at school, but I was at Tech College. Truth. I was hooked on a book by Robert H. Thowless, Straight and Crooked Thinking. And it was logic for the man in the street. You know, I felt the author was purposed on giving us an understanding of reasoning that our lives be richer, that we unravel from the chaos of bad decision making with logic and reason. Oh, this was noble to me. This is just what I need. You know, I was a dedicated student already. I'd had a few years of miraculous success. I don't mean I owed it to God. I didn't know God in that realization sense. But I'd had outstanding achievement from being less than mediocre. And wow, before me was another opportunity. And I studied this book extremely closely, although you would say it was very elementary in terms of logic. It was invaluable. It launched me. And now I had Plato before me, the very epitome of, presenting as the very epitome of reasoning, logic. And of course the other astonishing thing was that Plato was in a discourse context. And if there's one thing I had even from a child in a primary school, it was said of me, he could sell ice to Eskimos. Marshall has this speech ability, and that was because of the love of Mum. I spent all my time reasoning and relating with Mum. I had adult company, you see. It was as if I was homeschooled. I wasn't, of course. I had to go to school, but all my time was focused on her when I had it. And I was so grateful to have Mum, I guess, especially a loving Mum. And so I became an adult early. I was old before my years, and fluent. Mum is extremely capable on her feet. Response, the gift of words. She was a master of words in the way that I am not. But I've followed in her footsteps in that regard. I know it. I'm a master of words, by the grace of God. And at last I have achieved. Gosh, just hit me, this moment. I've used this ability here, 5,000 recordings, to talk to you, to speak into your heart, the love of God, to rescue you into life eternal, in accordance with John 17, I would like to say. But I don't want you to worship it, as you know. It's a bit like saying, don't think of pink elephants. Having said that, you can do nothing but think of pink elephants because the mind's trying not to do it. Well, I think it'll be a good flirtation for you to be with Jon 17. It will bless you, but go where it leads, not where it is. It's pointing to God as Dad. And even that is pointing to something greater, which possibly can't be defined in terms of this world. He is what he is. Unutterably wonderful. that can almost bring tears to my eyes. I could almost feel it then at the moment. I'll settle for what I think Jesus meant to say. Our dearest friend. Love you, Heavenly Dad. So, yes, did I achieve what I started out to do? Well, I don't know. Yes, I suppose so. I sought truth. The truth wasn't what I expected, and actually wasn't what I found, although I thought it was, in Plato. Well, and in Christianity. Well, never quite in Christianity, in fairness. I was cautious. Cautious. And that caution is an incredible blessing to you, dear one. It means that you're not going to give way until you're utterly overwhelmed, and that it's God who's able to do that. That's your trust. You know, you're on the fence, you're skeptical, you're an observer, you're cynical, I think, in the English way. You know, what's the hidden agenda here? What's his real purpose? What's going on here? I'm not easily taken in. I know I'm facing uncertainties. Until you know your heart, which is simply what you do value yourself, and that you can only value what you value as you find it. And trust, I was going to say to God, and trust to God that He will lead you to the fullness you hope for. You're driven by hope, aren't you? My name is Hope. Marshal Hope. You need to marshal your hope. My middle name is Richard, which was king, of course. You're a monarch in this respect, you see. He's made you this way. Why? I think it's because He wants you to love Him, not be forced into it, but to love Him because that's what your true values are, and that you come to value, well, at least in harmony, and probably what His values are. And that'd be wonderful, unspeakably wonderful. His eternal loving kindness. I'm come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. That's the Jesus story. I've given them your name, Heavenly Dad. Wow. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.